Do you sometimes tend to get very tense in your shoulders when you ride?
So, like you suddenly realize that you're riding like this, and then you don't know how to get out of it. Today, I'm going to talk about why that happens, and then also I'm going to give you lots of tips on how to fix that. Why do our shoulders get tense so easily, especially when we ride? First of all, we need to look at what's happening off the horse. So your postural habits when you're not riding. So just in your daily life. And then of course, it very often gets worse when we're riding. Definitely stress is a very big factor. Also fear, especially when you're on the horse. If you're a little bit afraid of riding, it might be unconscious, but it can definitely make your shoulders and your whole body tense. And also just poor posture in general in your daily life. And then if we look at what's happening on the horse,
It can be
that you're trying to control the horse too much with your hands and with your arms instead of your seat and your core. So how does excessive tension in your shoulders affect your riding? Definitely it leads into hard and stiff rein contact. Also restricted arm movement. When you're riding, the horse's head and neck are moving, so you need to follow that movement
with your hands and with your arms. When there's too much tension, that will definitely restrict that movement and also block the horse's movement. It can also restrict your breathing and make your whole upper body,
actually your whole body, very tense. And definitely it will cause discomfort for both the horse and the rider.
Some things you can check on the horse. First of all, check that you can really drop your shoulders and drop your elbows down.
And one thing I really also want you to focus on is your breathing. Specifically on each exhale, think about really dropping your shoulders down and releasing that tension and really trying to breathe
deeply. You can think about breathing into your lower back. That often I find helps a lot to deepen and stabilize the rider's seat.
And a very useful mental image is also to think that your hand is breathing.
And an
What
exercise
you can do is while you're at walk, just really breathe, focus on your breathing, especially on that exhalation, and then feeling the movement
of the horse's head and neck with your contact.
Okay, so now I'm going to guide you through a very quick shoulder reset you can do in the saddle or out of the saddle. So we're going to start with some thoracic spine rotations. So you can do this. So you can do this with one hand and then hold the reins with the other hand. So you're just going to rotate backwards. Now keep your hips forward, so you're not rotating from your hips, but the movement is coming from your thoracic spine. And you can also think about rotating your thumb backwards like this. So this is really going to open up your chest area and also focus on your breathing. And you're going to do it on the other side as well. Also pay attention if there are any asymmetries. So if one side is more mobile than the other. Okay, so next you're just going to roll your shoulders. And again, focus on your breathing. Good. Have a little shake. And then just shrug and then release. Shrug and release. And one more time. Shrug and release. Good. And now think that you're really stretching your neck tall, and then your shoulders are just melting down and your elbows feel really, really heavy. And now each time you exhale, think about releasing more and more of that tension from your shoulders. And then when you're in movement, you want to really focus on following gently that movement that's happening in the horse's head and neck. So you don't want to block your hand. So now if I block my hand, you can see that she stops because she's very sensitive. So you always need to have that soft following feeling in your shoulder and in your elbow. So supple, relaxed shoulder and also heavy and supple elbow. Then you can really achieve that nice, stable, but still soft contact.
And because this very often results from postural habits and things that happen in your daily life,
then definitely also need to start
correcting these things also off the horse. Because if your muscles are just very tense and in cramp, it's impossible to relax them when you're riding. It can definitely help to just go and get a massage so you get those muscles released. But then after that, you need to do some things to maintain that relaxation because often it will creep back in.
doing mobility exercises, especially for the upper body. So your thoracic spine and your neck and shoulder area can be very helpful. Also, you can do self-myofascial release. And I actually have a little course, rider mobility and fascia release. So I will put a link in the description with a little discount so you can check it out as well. So managing stress is very important. Also, pay attention to those postural habits in your daily life because often it's not just when you're riding, but also, for example, when you're sitting at your desk or doing whatever work you're actually doing. So that's where you need to start. Breathing exercises and also mindfulness exercises are extremely helpful. And also working on strengthening those postural muscles, so especially your core muscles. If you haven't downloaded my little ebook, Tackle the Bounce, definitely do that. The link is in the description because there I talk a little bit more about the foundations of good riding position. Also, if you want to dive a little bit deeper into posture and how to improve your posture, then definitely watch this video next. And remember to subscribe to this channel also, because there's so much more to come. I hope this video was helpful and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!